Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and begin. So morning everybody, welcome. If you haven't joined me on these morning sessions before, you have the choice of staying in your bed and doing this practice from the comfort of your bed, or you could also just come and lie down on a mat or on the floor if you wish. So I'm going to give everybody just a moment to get settled. Welcome to everybody else who's joining. So we'll begin our practice lying down. And take a moment to settle yourself down onto your bed or down onto your mat. And you can soften your gaze or close out through your eyes, whatever feels more comfortable for you in this moment. And begin to notice how the body feels right now. What does it feel like to be in your own body in this moment? Feel the weight of the body being completely held by the support beneath it, allowing you to fully release and to let go. Allowing your awareness to come into the present moment, letting go of yesterday, forgetting about anything else that's going on for you today, and allowing yourself to be in the here and the now. Tuning into the body and into your breath. Drawing our energy down into the body, out of our minds, allowing ourselves to come into this grounded, relaxed, present state. And then from here, tune into your breath. As long as it feels good for you right now, allow the breath to travel in and out of your nose. As you begin to notice your breath, observe the natural ebb and flow of your breath, the rhythm to your breath in this moment. Notice any sensations that are being created by your breath as you become fully aware of your own breathing. As we stay connected to our breath here, I invite you to place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your chest. Just lightly allowing the hands to rest here in these spaces. So this morning we're going to work with our 3-part breath. So continuing with this steady, deep flow of breath. On your next inhale, send the breath right down into your belly and feel your belly rise. And then your rib cage, and then the chest. And as you exhale, you'll feel the chest fall back down, the rib cage drop back in, and the belly sink back down. On the inhale, breathing right into the belly, into all sides of the rib cage, and into the chest. And on the exhale, allowing the chest to fall back down, the rib cage, and the belly. Inhale, breathing right down into the pit of the belly, feel it inflate, then the rib cage, then the chest. And as you exhale, allowing the chest to fall back down, the rib cage to draw back in, and the belly to sink back down. And just continuing to breathe like this by yourself, allowing your hands to give you that feedback, reminder to breathe in and out of these spaces, the belly, the rib, the chest. Breathe back out from the chest, the ribs, the belly. So you're creating this wave-like motion with your breath. And just take a couple of more of these energizing and grounding breaths by yourself. So finishing the breath that you're on, and then allow your hands to release back down by your side body. And then take the awareness back to your physical body and prepare to move your body now as you wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And then circle out your ankles in one direction and your wrists. And then switch the direction, circling the hands and the feet in the opposite direction. And releasing the hands and the feet, and then move your head from one side to the other, just rolling over the back of the head a couple of times. And center out your head, take your legs together, straighten out the legs if the knees were bent. Point through your toes, reach your arms over your head, take a deep breath in and then reach your fingers and your toes away from each other as you give yourself a big stretch. And on the exhale, we'll let everything go. Release everything back down. Take a bend into both of your knees. Lift your feet up and wrap your arms around your thighs, around your shins. And maybe lift the head and the shoulders towards your knees as long as this feels okay for your neck. Pause for a moment. And release your head and your shoulders back down. If you've got your duvet on you, maybe you want to take it off now. Stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. Now your knees could be slightly bent here and our arms are going to come up. And all we're going to do is just shake it out. So I want you to begin to just shake your legs, shake your hands. You can even kind of shimmy your shoulders around, shimmy your hips around, move the face. I want you to just shake everything as fast as you can, releasing all that tension, allowing everything to be loose. Keep going. Shake, 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 shake. And exhale, drop everything down. It's a nice way to wake you up in the morning time. From here, we're going to come straight to a seated position. So roll over to one side and slowly guide yourself up into a seated position. If you find it uncomfortable to sit with crossed legs, I recommend getting a few of your pillows and sticking them under your bum. And when you elevate your pelvis, it's a little bit easier to sit with a straighter spine. And if it's not comfortable to cross your legs, you can sit with straight legs. So sit nice and tall. Take your arms out into a T shape. And then bend your elbows and interlace your fingers at the base of your skull, the top of your neck, and allow your elbows to come wide. We're beginning with a little bit of neck movement first. Inhale. As you exhale, drop your chin, just your chin towards your chest, pull your elbows forward and down. And then inhale, lift the chin up, pull the elbows out, and lift the nose up towards the ceiling. And again, exhale, drop the chin towards the chest, pull the elbows down. Inhale, pull the elbows out to the side, almost lifting up to the base of the skull, lifting the tip of the head up towards the ceiling, elbows wide. As you exhale, drop the chin to the chest, the elbows come down. This time, start to round into your upper back also, pulling your chin more down into your chest. And inhale, lifting the chest, lifting the elbows wide, lifting the head, and now open to the chest a little bit more. Can you lean back slightly, get a bit more extension in that upper back? Same thing again, exhale, pull the elbows down, round into the upper back, maybe a little bit more even down into the middle back, pull your belly button back towards your spine. Inhale. Start to restack your spine, lengthen everything up, pull the elbows out, extend, lift, open, front body. And let's go one more time, exhale, pull everything down, hollow the front body. See if you can curl your tailbone under a little bit more, so we try to get into the full spine here, rounding the back body. And then start to restack the spine from the pelvis all the way up, getting nice and tall. Think about squeezing your shoulder blades back and down as we open the elbows, open the front body, look up. And then nice and slowly come back into a neutral spine. Take your arms back out into a T shape. And let's cross our right arm on top of our left and give yourself a hug. So kind of work your fingertips towards your opposite shoulder blade. Just feel that space being created on your upper back. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, turn your body towards the right. So your upper body, your elbows and your gaze is going to turn towards the right. Let's take a full breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, twist to the opposite side. Inhale here, get long. Exhale, can you twist a little bit deeper? Inhale, come back into center. Take your arms back out into a T shape. And you can bring your left arm on top of your right and hug your shoulders again. Or for some of you that are used to practicing yoga, you have the option of taking eagle arms. So you stack your elbows and wrap your forearms around each other so your fingertips more or less come into your palm. Keeping the elbows below the wrists. Inhale here. As you exhale, twist towards the right once again. Inhale, get long from your side body. Exhale, can you twist a little bit deeper? Inhale to come back into center. Exhale to twist to the left. Inhale, get long up to the tip of the head. And exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, come all the way back into center. Release your arms, release your hands. Relax your arms back down by your side. Place your hands on your knees and just kind of shrug your shoulders up and down a couple of times. Maybe even kind of add in the breath. And slowing that down, release it down, come back into stillness again. Uncross your legs. Take your feet flat on the floor and take your hands behind you. Begin by lifting your chest so we're not sinking into our shoulders. Get that length and openness to the front body and support through your shoulders. Flex both of your feet. We'll leave our left leg as it is. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, pull your right knee towards your chest. Right foot will come up. And then tap the right foot back down. Inhale, pull the knee towards your chest. Exhale to tap it down. Keep going, and as we're lifting and lowering the foot, what we're trying to do is target our hip flexors on that right hip. So you're closing that hip, activating through our hip flexors. You're going to do it 2 more times, and then on this last one, we're going to hold it. So an isometric hold. Lift it, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down, pause for a second. We'll drop the knees from one side to the other, just release any of that tension out of that right hip. Allow yourself to come back into center. We'll move on to the opposite side. So have your toes lifted, you're on the center of your heels, right leg stays as it is, and then lift the left knee, tap the heel back down. Keep going. And it doesn't matter whether you're inhaling or exhaling on the lift, just as long as you're breathing. And on that lift, you really try to pull that thigh in towards the belly. So this should feel quite active within that hip flexor on the left side. Let's go for 2 more, and on that last one, we're going to lift it and hold it. Lift it, hold it, stay sitting tall for another 3, 2, and 1. Release the foot back down, and then once again, rock the knees from one side to the other. Sit up nice and tall, extend your legs all the way out in front. Take your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Your hands can still be out to the side to support you. And roll your knees and your toes in towards each other. So our upper thigh bones are turning in our hip sockets. So we're internally rotating our hips. Roll over your heels and turn your toes and your knees out. So we externally rotate your hips. Keep going, rolling in and out a couple of times. Slight pause as you bring them into internal and external rotation. And just notice how it feels. Does one feel easier than the other? Does one side feel different than the other? Remembering our bodies aren't symmetrical, so they're always going to feel slightly different from right to left. So you're going to finish the round that you're on. So next time you go into external rotation, Take the feet back together. Bring your legs back in at hip distance apart. I might turn to the side for this one. Keep your left leg as it is. Pick up your right leg, take a bend into your knee and open your knee out to the right hand side and pick up your leg and just rest your right knee above your right ankle above your left knee, sorry. You can lean back slightly. This might feel like plenty of a stretch in your right hip. If this feels okay, maybe take a bend into your left foot. For some of you, you'll be able to move your bum, scoot your bum a little bit further forward towards that left heel. Your left heel is going to stay down. Your right hip is in external rotation. Drop your shoulders, lift your chest, and look up. Your bum is staying on the mat, so our bum isn't lifted off the floor. Just take 2 more breaths. If your left knee is bent, slide the left leg all the way back out. Release that right foot. Come to sit up nice and tall. Swap the legs. Bend your left knee. Lift your foot. So use your hands to just guide that ankle above that right knee even. You can stay upright or maybe take a bend into that right knee. Scoot your bum a little bit closer towards your heels. Lift your chest. Hold it here. Think about opening the left knee out to the left hand side. So I know I always say that these sessions are 15 minutes, but they're really not. They're really 20 minutes because I never want to stop what I'm doing with you. So apologies if some of you are in a rush. And then nice and slowly extend the leg all the way out. Release that foot and extend the leg. We're going to do one more movement. So when you're ready, come onto your hands and your knees. So I'm going to work with a little bit of hip extension here. Stacking your joints more or less on top of each other. If there's any issues on your wrists, take your hands a little further forward or pop down onto your elbows or up onto your fists. So taking your hips over your knees, tuck your right toes in underneath, left toes can be pointed back, and lift your right knee up so your right knee is coming in line with your hip and your right heel is over your right knee. Be aware that you don't want your right hip rolling out to the right hand side. Keep both of your hips in line with each other. And then you slowly just begin to kick your right heel up and down. These are called donkey kicks. And we want to create a little bit of stability through our core so our spine doesn't move. And as you kick your heel up towards the ceiling, you feel that squeeze of your right butt cheek. A little bit work to that back of the right hamstring. Maybe even take a glance down towards the front of the body and just check that left hip is staying over the left knee. And if you're doing these in the right way, you're going to feel that right butt cheek, that right glute start to fatigue quite quickly, and that's what we want. It means it's working. Let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that right foot down. Last thing we're going to do, stabilize through your shoulders. Don't sink into your shoulders. Tuck your left toes under. Lift that left knee up, knee in line with your hip, ankle roughly over your left knee. Square off your 2 frontal hip bones and then begin your little donkey kicks. Each time you lift that heel up, it's not a huge lift here. Think about squeezing that butt cheek and try not to dump into your lower back. Stability to the core will help you to isolate this movement into just our hips. Keep going. Should kind of start to fatigue in and around now. Well, mine is anyway. We're going to go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it back down. Draw your knees forward. You can pop up onto your heels if that's comfortable for you. Or feel free to just swing the legs out in front and come into whatever seated position feels most comfortable for you. Take your hands into chest center as we begin to close out our practice. Soften your shoulders down, close your eyes. Let's take a full breath in together. And then exhaling, gently bowing the head as you open your eyes. Namaste. So thank you everybody for joining me this morning. This is our last week of these sessions, so we've got Wednesday morning and Friday morning left. But I also am going to be offering 2 free yoga sessions this coming Sunday. I'm going to do 2 separate classes because I want to be able to do a beginner's class, a gentle class, and I want to be able to do a class for people who are more experienced. So this coming Sunday, I'm going to do a class from 9:30 to 10:15, which will be like a level 2 class, so for anybody who has some yoga experience. And then from 10:30 to 11:15, I'm going to do a gentle class, which will be open for everybody. So that's another offering that I'm going to have this coming Sunday. I'm going to be announcing it on my social media pages today. So if you could help share that or spread the word, that would be amazing. And you'll have to book in directly for me if you are going to join the classes, because there's going to be limited numbers. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and I will hopefully also see you on Wednesday morning. Feel free to say hi in the chat box. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely day, Orla. Thanks, Chloe. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Eileen. Cheers. You're welcome, Gillian. Thank you. Thanks, Lillian. Thanks, Susie.